Theoreticus Heresy Episode 5. Now, the first 4 episodes have been awesome. I do like the role reversals in some of the Primarchs. I really, really do. We're going to get back into this. And, well, that's just about it. Here we go.
Despite the edict passed at Nikea, not all the legions disbanded their librarius. A few defied the Emperor in their own ways, most notably the Space Wolves, who claim that the power of their rune priests comes from the very homeworld of Fenris, and not the wall.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And the White Scars, who, due to their cultural ties to the homeworld of Jagoras and its people, kept their librarians, the Stormseers, in an active officer role. Jagatai Khan was not pleased by the Emperor's decree, but agreed to try and at least limit the active combat role of the Stormseers by utilizing their talents in a similar manner to their Legion's navigators and astropaths. While en route to Terra, Fulgrim visited Conrad Kurz in his cell. It was there that Kurz told his brother of the constant mental barrages he suffered of visions of the future, of how his soul was tortured by his own psychic ability, and how he felt his mind was slowly fracturing. Fulgrim took pity on his brother.
Now you see, this is actually something that did happen in the lore. Fulgrim was approached by Conrad Kurz prior to this. Prior to Conrad actually going way off the deep end, before he destroyed Nostromo. And unfortunately, he told Dorn. And Conrad Kurz nearly beat Dorn to death.
And agreed to be his brother's confidant. Fulgrim was told by Conrad that he did what he did, not through sickness of mind, or finding a perverse pleasure in spreading fear, but that he did what he did for peace and justice. Ferris and the Iron Hands would be ordered by the Warmaster, Rogor Dorn, to head to the Kutas system, leaving the Emperor's Children Legion alone to escort the Night Lord's Primarch back to Terra to stand trial. Ferris and Fulgrim would exchange their sorrowful farewells, and the two brothers vowed to meet again to fight alongside one another once more. The Regent of Terra, Malcador, the Sigillite, had travelled to the world of the Wordbearer's latest compliance, Kerr, accompanied by the warriors of the Lunar Wolves Legion, a unit led by Captain Garviel Logan. The Primarch of the Wordbearers, Lorgar Aurelian, greeted the Regent of Terra warmly, like a man greeting a beloved uncle, in the capital city of Monarchia. Malcador spoke with a voice of sorrowful anger. The Emperor was unhappy with the slow speed of the Wordbearers bringing worlds to compliance. Malcador had come to personally ascertain why. Lorgar explained that the reason his legion was taking such a long time was due to him personally making sure that freshly compliant worlds were stable and self-sustaining, fully functional and accepting of the Emperor's divinity before moving on to the next world.
Yep, there we go.
Malcador was disappointed. He once again repeated to the Primarch that the purpose of the Great Crusade was to bring the truth of knowledge and reason to humanity, not to replace false gods with a new one. Lorgar argued that the Emperor, as an object of worship, would bring the people into line, a figurehead for humanity to gather around, to become stronger as a species, a society, and an imperium. Malcador shook his head sadly. He warned the Primarch to tear down the churches and cathedrals erected in the name of the Emperor, for he would oppose such actions. Lorgar pleaded, but Malcador was set fast. He, however, agreed to not inform the Emperor of his son's actions. in return for the word-bearers returning to the Great Crusade with righteous fervour. As the Sigillite left the world, Lorgar felt himself at a crossroads. He loved his father, worshipped him as a living god. His heart was torn, for his father would project being a subject of religious devotion, despite deserving to be one. He ordered his legion to make preparations to leave for the next battle zone, but the churches of the Emperor would remain intact.
Okay.
This way, at least, the souls of the people on the worlds made compliant by the word-bearers would be safe from the horrors that haunt the darkness. For the Emperor protects.
Okay, so what we have is Fulgrim not turning to someone else. Well, Dorn just wasn't there, so that's that. Fulgrim not turning to someone else, and instead being the shoulder for Conrad Curse to lean on with his fracturing mind, and Lorgar being approached differently. If they were only at Kerr at the point of the War Master being the War Master, that would easily add about 50 years to the length of time that the Word Bearers had been basically trudging through the galaxy. Because the Isfun 5 Drop Site Massacre happened almost 50 years after Nikea had burned. But in any case, I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to go ahead and pop on the next episode. 1 second.
Within orbit of the world of Kutus Prime, the Imperial Fist's flagship, the Phalanx, floated in the void. Rogue Dawn, the War Master, awaited with Rabute Gilliman for the arrival of their closest and most trustworthy of brothers, the Dauntless Few. The Wolf King, Leman Russ, Primarch of the Space Wolves, was the first to arrive, followed by the Lord of the Blood Angels, Sanguinius, and finally they were joined by the Lord of Iron, Ferrus Manus of the Iron Hands. Rogue Dawn began to explain what he had learned from Gilliman, every last detail. The Primarchs were shocked, appalled, disgusted. Russ boiled with deep anger and blood-red fury. Ferrus Manus felt a deep sorrow gnawing at his very soul. Sanguinius, however, seemed unfazed, too busy focusing on his own preternatural beauty. Gilliman smiled to himself, recognizing the cuneiform script that adorned the angel's new accessories as being identical to the runes from the Black Oculus. Leman Russ, in his rage, demanded proof for such accusations, or that he would tear the War Master's head from his very shoulders with his bare hands. Gilliman would offer it to him in time. Ferrus Manus then raised an important issue. There would be those within their legions who may not follow their orders, should they decide to rebel against their father. Not to mention the brothers who would turn against them. If they committed to this action, it would lead to the biggest and bloodiest war in humanity's history. Rogue Dawn simply stated thus: were not the lives of the Emperor's own sons worth anything? Did they not deserve a life after the long crusade? Or were they to be discarded? If their father was removed from power, then they could rule the Imperium, guiding humanity to a better future. A ruling council made up from the Primarchs, with Rogue Dawn at their head, watching over and protecting their fragile human subjects. instead of the so-called God Emperor devouring their very essence to become all-powerful. Rogor Dawn stated that this rebellion, no, revolution, was for the greater good.
Oh, God. Okay, now I totally believe it. This is the... I've been warning you guys about the Tau Watercast the entire time. The entire time I've been warning you guys about the Tau Watercast. Nobody wants to pay attention. But there we go. Again, here I am again. I apologize. Right.
The dauntless few agreed. Gilliman would show them the Black Oculus, which in turn would give them their own visions. Plans would soon be made to remove those from their legions who could prove troublesome, potential defectors to their father's side. Rogor Dawn had an answer. A system that proved troublesome and aggressive to a warlike degree, in keeping its own sovereignty and independence from the Imperium. The Istvan system. Meanwhile, on the worlds of Prospero and Jagoras, the Primarchs, Magnus the Red, and Jagatai Khan felt that something was terribly, terribly wrong.
I really do like some of the role reversals here. Sanguinius becoming more Slaneshi. Russ, of course, would be a stand-in for Angron and Khorne. I haven't decided. Ferrus Manus, I don't see Ferrus Manus falling to Nurgle. I do see him falling to Tzeentch. But that's just me. In any case, this is an enjoyable series. I love their theory crafting on any scale. And the more this goes on, it's clear he put a lot of thought into this. I'm still having a bit of trouble understanding the Gilliman switch. But I understand why he would be the one to be the Lorgar-esque figure in this. But if anybody can give me a clue, a little bit better idea, please do so down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, please. And my information, his information is going to be down below, as well as my Patreon. And I hope to see you guys next time.